Welcome to the best of December at Competitive, where we look at the top tweets. This is the end of 2012, which we're still here, Eamon.
That's right, we are still here, age 36 and kicking strong.
Excellent. Get it in early.
That's right.
Because you're not going to get another chance. This was a tweet about a New York Times science article about a new frontier for science, and the science editor Mariana Giordano says this is when science came to the social media party.
That's right, yeah. She pointed out that science stories achieved some new milestones in the social media realm this year, or this year just passed. And the three that she called out was James Cameron, who took a deep sea dive into the Mariana Trench. She talked about Felix Baumgartner, the Austrian daredevil who jumped from a Red Bull balloon about 24 miles above the surface of the Earth. And she talked about the Mars rover dropping into the Gale Crater on Mars. They all made big waves, unprecedented waves for science stories on social media. But it brings us to the big question, Ken. How many of these three are really science stories?
So when is a stunt science, is what you're asking.
Indeed.
You know, when does somebody sponsored by Red Bull jumping off the cliff of space and the Hollywood director announcing that he's arrived at the deepest spot in the world? What is that? I think science should be about advancing understanding, not advancing somebody's celebrity status.
Indeed.
So I think one of these three, though, was science. And what did that tell us? The one about the rover and landing on Mars.
Indeed. Well, the initial reaction is that if you're able to land a car on Mars, you will probably get 1.25 million Twitter followers. So I don't think, we're a marketing agency, we have a social media offering. I don't think we'd have any problems promising that to NASA if they came to us and said, we're going to land something on Mars, can you get us 1 million followers? So perhaps not amazing that they got 1.25 million Twitter followers, but there were some other interesting things about NASA's approach. I think we both kind of agreed that reading through the stories, it mentions some of the tweets they make. It's actually got some of the videos they also put out there about the project. Ken, what was it about the way that they handled their social media output, and I'm talking about their tweets and their video, that you think might have helped, apart from the fact they were, yes, landing on Mars, but might have helped make NASA more appealing to tweets?
Well, I think they had a sense of responsibility to the people out there to communicate what was happening. From an informational standpoint, they needed to educate the public what was happening. They have a tremendous video as well, though. They put a little bit of theater in there. James Cameron could be proud of their efforts. The 7 Minutes of Terror video, which explains just how hard it is to land a car on a planet so many million miles away, through all the atmosphere and the different challenges that took place, was phenomenal. I encourage anyone to watch that, and actually you linked that in your post, Eamon. And that was basically a trailer for this event, and it basically said, coming in August, this event coming near you. And I think that was terrific.
It was very cool. Just on that 7 Minutes of Terror, just to explain a little bit more, what they were referring to there is there's a 14-minute lag between when a message is sent from the Curiosity hardware and when it arrives on Earth. And it takes 7 minutes for it to descend through the atmosphere and land on planet Mars, during which time it comes out of a pod, then it drops out of something else, then some rocket boosters take over. There's about 5 or 6 very complex things that happen to land it smoothly on the planet. But that means there's a 7-minute differentiation. By the time they first hear about the descent, they know that the mission has effectively already failed or succeeded, but they don't know. So there's the 7 minutes of uncertainty. And they talk quite openly and candidly about that. And that's one of the things that I think would be quite appealing to people, is they actually have some pretty charismatic people in Mars. In NASA. Maybe they do have charismatic people in Mars.
We'll find out. The rover will let us know, right? In 14 minutes.
Right. But they talked very openly and candidly about their anxieties. They hyped it up a little, which I think sometimes in science people are afraid to do, and they lightened up. They just weren't all deadly serious. This was not just sort of press release kind of information they were putting out there. They were really connecting with people on a human level, and I think letting some of their emotions show.
Yeah, I think it's something we could all take a lesson from. Life science is supposed to be inspirational, and there were some, I guess, comments made by Google's manager of content about why these science subjects trended up. And something that I think we should, as life science marketers, be frankly inspired by, things that we could use. Science subjects, he said, are universal, and they're more likely to attract global audiences. Another thing is scientists tend to be technology driven. They're scientists and they are oriented towards technology. So that would seem that we've got interesting subject material that we could share, and that these scientists would really get it and grasp it. So the moon, the Mars, I'm so 1960s. But Mars is inspirational. Our science, the science that our life scientists do is inspirational. And to be able to share that in a let down your hair manner, as you might put it, just lets us connect, I think, with our audiences better, to let them share that and engage in the experiences that our scientists should rightly be proud of.
That's right. And, let your personality show along the way. Doesn't hurt as well, because this is social media. It's about social interactions, and it's about how people relate to one another. So, yeah, I think our conclusion out of this is that the NASA did a great job of being human, of talking about the emotional side of it, and being inspirational and aspirational. And that, along with, of course, landing a significant piece of hardware on planet Mars, made them the great social media success story of 2011.
Thanks, Eamon.
Thanks, Ken.
Let us know what you think at Competitive, and we'll talk to you next month.
Cheerio.